After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Okay, there we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 563. Today is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023, as we are recording. My name is Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Ty, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Go ahead.
I will make a quick note. You might be noticing more of the computer episodes. Actually, it's kind of creepy looking. It looks like one of those monsters. It's Monster Match. Monster Match.
Not lurch. Thing.
Anyway. Where was I? Oh, you might be noticing more computer episodes simply because I do fairly consistently get symptoms if there's too much light in my face, and that is the way we've had to do it with the camera. This also is a lot less setup, and I'd rather give a slightly lower quality, not as in like how we podcast, but slightly lower quality in the camera quality, and give you a podcast every week than not giving you a podcast every week because I'm consistently having a migraine afterward or something like that.
We're trying to be consistent.
Yeah, we're trying to be consistent.
Okay.
Even if it means we flip between Tuesday, Wednesday, at least we're still doing it every week.
Right.
So that is probably why you're going to see more of this use of this computer camera. So, yeah.
I want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you're new, we're glad you found us. We hope you see something that you enjoy despite our lower quality visuals, and that you will keep coming back. If you are returning, we are always glad to have you with us. If you are new or returning and you would like to become more involved, you're not a member yet, and you'd like to become involved, you just tap the little red subscribe button on your right and tap the little bell, which will give you a couple options as to how often you want to be notified. Mm-hmm. And you can go to our home group, which is phnforums.freeforum.net, and that's where...
phnpodcast.freeforums.net.
Is that what I said?
No, you said phnfreeforums.freeforums.net.
Okay, well, that too. It's in the description box.
It is in the description.
So go there and you can sign up and we'll let you in, and you'll be able to take part in all the alongs and things like that. Today is going to be a very truncated go through the alongs because Ty is having a little bit of a rough day and we're really getting a late start because we weren't going to podcast today.
Yeah, I have improved. I think that nap helped.
Yeah.
But we are supposed to have thunderstorms later today. And earlier I was thinking I was having some pre-migraine symptoms.
And I almost put my foot down and said we weren't podcasting today. So we're here. And so it just might be a little bit different than normal, be a little more speed through the beginning.
I forgot my journal, but that's okay.
Before we get started, we both have three, so I have...
She actually remembered to grab her journals. I didn't. I'm too lazy to go up and get it.
Whether or not I show you what we've made to be seen. This is in the mug that Davina got me as a set. I can't drink the tea because of the caffeine level.
Not the one that's in her mug. She can drink the one that's in her mug.
Yeah. No, the one in my mug is Rubus Nutcracker, which is actually a winter Christmas tea. But I had some in my stash, and that's what they're drinking over at Adagio, so I thought I'd drink it with them.
Well, that's like if I chose to drink the reindeer one, Ranger Fuel.
Yeah, I'm never constrained by what season it is.
No.
I drink what I like. I don't particularly care for the warmer weather teas. I much prefer the winter teas.
Yeah, because a lot of times they're like mango or, something like that, which is pineapple.
A lot of times they use things like, I don't mind some of those, but like I find when they use cherry...
But cherry you see in the winter.
Yeah, but
I mean, you might see it in summer too, but...
You do see it in the summer, but you see it with other things that are lighter, which can't handle it as much, and it tastes like sucrettes.
You see strawberry a lot in the spring.
Mm-hmm. And Chrissy made a nice blend for me with that. Actually, with a, not for me specifically, that particular one. But she made it, and it had strawberry. And it was really good.
Every once in a while, you will hit one like that.
Yeah, it's kind of hit and miss for me with fruit because some of the fruit syrups or whatever it is they use to flavor it can be a little medicinal or a little bit artificial. I mean, when you open something up and it smells like a sucrette, I kind of go, ooh, I don't know, I'm going to like this one.
Yeah.
But this is the Rooibos nutcracker, and there is no fruit in it. What do you have in yours?
First of all, do you like how we look like this kind of like official podcaster thing where we have the microphone in front?
Walter Cronkite.
I noticed this on a lot of the non-knitting podcasters where they'll have like their official-looking mic in front of them. Some of them even have that little thing for, like, I guess it prevents some of the sound.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that circles thing you sometimes see from singers' mics.
Right.
I'm not sure what that's called.
I don't know.
But it's to stop it from picking up every little thing. But
I think Pints of Aquinas uses the mics.
Yeah, I think they do too. And you'll see it the longer they go, the farther they go along, they'll get nicer and nicer mics.
My tea is going away.
Oh wow, that's fast. Now, I had chocolate before this, so I think it's affecting my taste buds for this. I have in here Black Dragon Pearl, and usually it tastes great. Right now, it kind of tastes weird to me. I don't know if it's just that I'm having a day where things taste weird.
I've done that.
Or if it's because I had chocolate right before this.
That could be too. Although chocolate would go really well with a black tea.
But sometimes there's a sweeter black tea. Like, I have one smoky, but it's also sweet, and that's the Russian Caravan. It has its own level of sweetness, so I don't generally like having it with something that's sweet, because the tea itself is sweet.
There was a tea that, well, almost any tea, if we have the strawberry cupcakes that I make, you really shouldn't have them with the tea, because unless it's a black tea, because it's just so overpowering. But
I'm also wondering if I didn't stir it enough.
That could be.
Because some teas also sit better.
You could have just asked for this.
Oh, I didn't actually see your spoon.
Okay, so we should probably...
That's exactly what happened. Can I borrow your spoon?
Yeah.
I didn't stir it. Then I'll let you taste it, because...
Yeah, I guess I can taste it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can taste it. It's not going to come me to have... I'm still on a... They didn't tell me don't have it. They suggested.
And this is my Jane Austen mug. We're still in Jane Austen July for BookTube.
That's good.
Yeah. Without the sugar, it's kind of bland. You can definitely only taste the black tea.
To me, it tastes like you get some kind of a Chinese restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I get the feel. And I'm wondering, I think it might be is a Chinese tea. That's the one where they roll it into little balls of tea. Yeah. I like doing it because it's easy cleanup.
Yeah.
Because it still kind of stays semi-balled up. So if I'm too lazy to do real cleanup, I know I like this tea. This is one of the ones I make well in this. Because sometimes I have to fiddle to figure out, because this is not as small as that, but it's not quite as big as my big mugs. So it takes a little fiddling sometimes.
Never mind the one that Crystal gave you.
Oh, my big one like that. That one is saved for like lattes.
Mm-hmm. Mexican chocolate.
Yeah, not the Mexican hot chocolate. Not the milk one that was supposed to be like a meal.
Oh yeah.
That was, I didn't realize how filling that was, and I started to feel sick after a while because it was way too much. But I should have registered when they said that people had it to go into the fields and work.
Mm-hmm.
I should have registered, oh, this is going to be a really filling drink.
Heavy too,
and I just didn't register. I know that now.
So you say.
But yeah, I have Black Dragon Pearl in here. This is actually the first tea I picked up from Adagio. Not necessarily this particular thing. I think Woody gave me some afterwards. But yes, that's what's in here. I think I had it last week too. Mm-hmm. Because I think I've been on a week long, like, I want Black Dragon Pearl. Well, before that, I did your chocolate one.
Yes.
Like that.
The thing I've been on a binge for before, they're caffeinated, so I can't have it right now. Well, like I said, it was strongly suggested I stay away from caffeine, too much sugar, and gluten and dairy free. But I've done a pretty good job, but I can't give up caffeine completely, or sugar for that matter. But
well, I think I might start cutting down my sugar a little bit just to make sure I'm tasting the tea itself and not the sugar.
Yes.
I mean, I know that I can tell a difference between teas, but I think I do need to pull back on sugar a little bit just so I can enjoy the tea itself.
This, I think, I could probably cut back even a little more than I did. But
What are you doing in that one?
a little shy of 1.5.
Okay.
I probably could have done one heaping for that.
Yeah, because I got 2 in here.
I don't usually use 2 anymore unless it's a great big mug.
Mm-hmm.
Even the the bigger mugs, not quite like that one, but you know what I'm
Well,
talking
because
about.
this one isn't a big one. This is smaller than our normal.
I'm talking
one.
about the 14-ounce ones.
Yeah, this is smaller than that.
A lot of times I'll use
That one's also more like 15 ounce and 14 ounce because pretty close to 16.
what?
The normal ones that we were using before, the not like your
No,
Sherlock Holmes.
I measured it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
14.
Because this
It's
one
14.
is just shy of that, or it's about that.
Yeah, and so
It's hard to tell because it's an otter shape.
I will use like about two kind of not quite level
Mm-hmm.
on something like that. And I've been even pushing back for that to 1.5 or 1 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to go back on the sugar a little bit. I do drink a lot of water, which I think dilutes the amount of sugar in your body.
Well, also, I tend to make a cup of tea last all day. The only day I've had in a long time where I had a second cup of tea is I felt really unwell on Sunday. So the only thing that made me feel at all better, because I didn't feel like drinking a lot of water, because sometimes water actually doesn't make you feel well when you don't feel well.
It makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was already having some gut issues. So basically the only thing that made me feel okay was soup and tea. So that's what I...
But see, it doesn't count when you're sick. Sick is different. I like I said,
ginger ale too.
Yeah, and ginger ale does have sugar in it.
Mm-hmm. That's probably what kept me from having the shakes.
My thought is that if I put a reasonable amount, I don't put more than 2 teaspoons in anything.
No. No,
if-
the only time I could see it is if you had a huge, like the crystal mug. If I
Right,
say I
right.
wanted to make a huge cup of tea last, well, that would literally last me all day. That would...
Well, my point is that I drink everything else I drink basically as water, and I think that dilutes the amount of sugar in your
Yeah.
bloodstream because sugar is soluble.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried. I don't want to.
Well, you also need some sugar in your bloodstream because you also run hypoglycemic, and with your tendency to want to be on the machine a couple times a day, the exercise machine a couple times a day, and then
Well-
right now, with the fact that you have a limited diet, due to what you're able to eat with the apparatus in your mouth, but you always tend to run low on your sugar anyway, so I think what you have for tea is not going to hurt you.
Yeah, I tend to
It
get-
actually might even help you so you don't get the dizzy spells.
I get a little lightheaded sometimes. So.
I think you finally are getting to the point where you admit that some of it is a lack of, what you need for sugar,
And my husband.
regardless if it comes from carbs or from,
Yeah, and like I said, I am not like alert. I'm not celiac or anything like
No.
that. But it does. I have noticed an improved quality of life since I've gone off substantially. I will never go off completely unless my doctor says I have to. But since I've gone off substantially, both dairy and gluten, and lowered my sugar intake, I feel a lot better.
Well, that's good.
I'm still tired, but
Well, it's helping with your inflammation a bit,
Yeah.
probably. You see, I've never noticed a difference with it.
we have.
I'll have to take your word for it. It's made it very hard to be motivated to stay on it because I don't notice a difference.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that very long intro. I would just say that we have 3 alongs going on. We have PHN Movie Night, which is a year-long along, and the hashtag is hashtag PHN Movie Night 2023 on Instagram, and we are in the 3rd quarter for that. We have the arthritis, cardiac, dysautonomia, cal, mal, and that's hashtag PHN ACD 2023. That's the hashtag that you would use if you want to put anything on Instagram. And then we have Tortoise versus Hare, which is actually Laura Concert's baby. We're co-hosting with her again this year. And that is for us, let's see.
I should consider.
Hold on.
Sorry, go on.
Hashtag Tortoise versus Hare 2023. All the particulars are in the PHN group. I won't be doing it quite this short all the time, but just in the interest of getting things moving and, being able to stop when we need to stop, I'm doing it this way. You can find all the information about featured yarns, featured patterns, and all that kind of stuff in the group, which is PHN Home
.freeform.net.
.net. It's in the description.
What I might consider doing, and I don't know why I haven't thought of this before, an open PHN Instagram where we can put a picture that has like the along is for this along has started, and here are then underneath the picture some of the rules. If I can pull it from the from not the shows because I don't have the shows, from what you put up on the main site, and then I would just make a picture for that, and then occasionally if we want to, we can put a picture that we want to put up there to kind of keep the Instagram going, and then we can also, have information about the hashtag, and this would be an official PHN one, so that would be a public one. There'd be only PHN type stuff posted on there. I don't know why I haven't thought of that before.
As long as it's not going to be extra work for you.
I mean, if it's done, like I said, when I feel like it, other than the quarter ones, and once I create the ones, unless we're doing a new along, it'll be in my backlog, just like you have for your notes. Yeah. And that might be, it's okay. I forgot to put the mouse on.
Mortimer.
He's not Mortimer for me. He's Bernard for me.
Mortimer.
I'm a son of a sea cook.
Teapot. I'm a teapot.
But, movie reference.
Yeah.
And that is Arsenic and Old Lace. It's a Cary Grant movie, so it is an old movie. I don't know the year.
I think it's really early because you have Peter Lorre and
it's still black and white.
makes me look like Boris Karloff.
Oh,
That wasn't Vincent Price. Raymond Massey.
No, that wasn't who it was.
You don't. That's the actor's name.
Not who is playing. Oh, you're talking about someone else, not the. Oh, okay, you're right. He said he wasn't, but I was thinking he was actually. No, you're right. I apologize.
Peter Lorre made him look like.
You're right. You're right because they wanted to get Boris Karloff and they weren't able to. That's right. My mistake. But yeah, very good movie. Very funny movie.
The lady who plays one of the aunts was in Harvey too.
Yeah, she was so funny in Harvey.
Oh, she's always funny.
Another good recommendation.
I wouldn't stoop to a lie.
The quote that I have on the bottom of my every post I make on the PHN home is a quote from Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, both recommend those movies very highly. Honestly, if you want quality movies, you do need to pull a lot of times from the older movies.
Right.
So I mean, there are goofy ones like Donovan's Reef, which I can't bring myself to watch. Some of the it's like there's a point where John Wayne like sort of was it Jump the Shark? It seems so almost. Another reference, which is to Happy Days.
Happy Days, yes.
When Fonzie literally
jumped the shark.
And now that's you.
Don't even ask.
It's kind of like the Streisand effect where something happens and now it's like used for it went and it's become culture.
Yes. Now anyway,
yes. So I will be creating a PHN Instagram. I think that could be fun, and then it would be a good place for me to remember to check the hashtags because I'm not looking at the pictures people are posting. And it could be fun, and
I am, or try to, some of them.
I haven't thought of it, and I need to do it more. Like when I go and check my BookTube one, I should go and check the PHN. Well, now that I'll have a PHN one, I didn't have a PHN one. It will encourage me to check the hashtag because I'll be like, oh yeah, we have a PHN Instagram. I should check on that.
Yeah, I am severely limiting. I guess we're going to be doing our personal stuff forward today. I am severely limiting my online presence. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get a hold of me, you need to tag me. You email me or something because I am really severely limiting. I go to PHN, I go to Adagio, and then I have a couple places on Facebook that one's for writing and one's for my HFI. Mm-hmm. And
I do seem to find, for whatever reason, keeping up with an official Instagram is easier than keeping up with like my personal one.
Right. I don't do anything on my personal. If you want to get a hold of me on Instagram, you need to do it on my Lady Fernico Creations.
Sometimes I'll post on my personal. Now, I had to be really inspired to post on the religious one. Sometimes the quotes we'll put at the end of our liturgy will end up making it to the Pauline one.
I think I'm burned out. I
think you are too.
Well,
you get invested a lot more in the social aspect. I think that's where the Instagram tends to help me a little bit is it can be less social because there's not as many threads of conversation.
I don't like the negativity. It affects my outlook, and
I think, and that's why I think if you have a controlled thing where, okay, this is just this.
well, that's why I like Adagio so much, and that's why I like PHN so much. I don't, and the people that I choose to interact with on my Facebook, which I may draw. If I ever lose my writers group, it's the only place I can find them. I may dump H5.
Now, I think,
not H5.
I think you have to stay connected to Facebook enough to have Messenger.
Yes,
Because we do both use
we
Messenger.
do
That's
use
how we
Messenger.
keep in contact with people that we don't have any way to contact otherwise.
But I just want to let you know that if it seems like I'm not available, I am available. It's just that you really have to tag me.
Yeah, and also the page and Instagram will give people another place to contact us if they're having trouble, like maybe the messages aren't coming through on PHN
Yeah,
Home.
that's another thing. People who are sending me private messages via the PHN Home group,
We don't always see the notification.
I'm not getting a notification. So if it takes me a little while to get to you, it's because I haven't seen it.
And sometimes it might having the PHN Instagram might be a nice way to have like, hey, I sent a message, just so you know. But yeah, I think that'll be kind of cool because then it seems also fair because then there's a PHN one as well as my BookTube one. Now you will have seen that my shop one hasn't updated because I haven't bothered putting in more for. I need to actually put in the points that I need
my
for the
rosaries.
Here, can you get to them? Okay. Oh, good. At least it was in an easy spot. Unlike my journal where I'm too lazy to get up and get it.
Where is it?
In my room. I don't want to get it.
Where is it?
It's somewhere on my.
What does it look like?
It is, I think, like a lavendery purpley thing. Actually, it's easier for me to get out than you. So maybe when you're talking about something, I'll go and grab it because I only have one book that I finished on there. And maybe I'll wait and when I have a couple more books on there because I only have one that I did, and it's not enough to really be like, hey, look at this cool stuff.
We thought this was going to be a short one. Apparently, it's not because we can't even get started.
It's okay. People don't mind.
We're flipping things. You won't get the. Sorry for the guys who do want to have personal stuff. In the
Well, this
beginning.
isn't even technically personal because we're talking about adding things for the podcast, and I do need to go to the place that automatically posts for my shop and re-up that because I've just been too. I forgot. Huh?
Southside?
Yeah, I forgot. I haven't updated my page for them in a while.
I think I'm still good with them. I have to look and see how many points I have left.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time it posted for me, so I need to go and fix that.
Yeah, I did a really big one last time I did it.
And I did too, so I need to just go update that because for that one I don't personally go and update it. Something does it automatically for
Right.
me. So the only
Yeah.
ones I personally update are my Pauline one and my BookTube, and then the occasional posts that I do to my personal.
I don't my stuff. You might see stuff come up from my shop. You're like, what is that? Like it took me the other day for one of my colorways. I'm like, what is that? Oh, it's a beret. It's a raspberry colored beret. It was one of the pictures I put on there. I can't choose my pictures.
No, they pick it.
They choose it. So and I'm not selling that beret. And that's the color
Now
of
I
the art.
think you can choose where it doesn't filter through the pictures. You can have it pick the main picture.
I think you're right, but
At some point, when you up next time, we can look at it.
yeah.
Because I might do that for mine too, because sometimes, although it doesn't happen as much for me simply because of what I put up there, I don't.
Well, sometimes I don't mind. Like I have my Lothlorien colorway has a really pretty kind of a scene from like the Shire or something. Not the Shire, for like Lothlorien, and I just leave it there, and they just know it's the colorway,
Right.
Because I'm not selling a picture.
Well, and if you really wanted, you can edit the description once it makes it to Instagram. So it's not like there's no way to fix that.
And it says what's under there. It says this, DK weight or whatever it is. So that is not obviously it's not a skein of yarn.
Right.
So-
I mean, so yeah. So you will see some differences in the Instagram. Oh, since we're talking about social media stuff, we are going to have to change the Zoom. I know people got a message saying that Fridays is a Zoom. I just forgot to stop that automatic message because I set it up at the beginning of the year because I knew I have a tendency to forget when I'm not feeling well to send out the messages. So we are going to do this on Thursday. I think that's the only day this week that we have that's available because
This week or next week?
we can do either. Do you want this week
I can
or
do it
next?
this week. That's fine.
What's more convenient?
I can't look at my calendar, so I think we're fine.
I know next week we're free because I checked. And let me check my thing again.
I can't reach my book here. So.
Oh, you know what? I had to get up to get my journal.
Yeah.
And we can, if you don't mind going first for your first project, I'll get my journal and check the calendar.
That's fine.
Because we have the same amount of projects. Okay, so we are actually getting started, and I'll come back and be able to tell you for sure.
So those of you who are in the kitchen getting a cup of tea or, walking the dog or whatever you're doing, you come back now.
Yeah. Also, while I'm thinking about it, if we can do it, if next Thursday is free, maybe we should because you're so packed this week. It'll give you a little breathing room.
Yeah.
So let me go check, and then we'll be able to tell you for sure. Also, it's less short notice for everybody.
Yeah. Here is the, this is my film noir shawl project from the Scrap Shop Pattern by Anastasia Sattel. My little angel's bag. And this one, I honestly did not work on this except for the podcast. And you'll see why later on. Let me just see if I can get this untangled here. I want to have this done by the time winter comes. But I like to have it done for the fall if I can. But you can see, it's pretty big. And like we said, it only needs a couple of inches. But I really need to finish this because my brother from another family mentioned how, we have our meeting coming up for this HFI, and then we're going to miss two, one for his wedding prep and then one for the actual wedding / tritium stuff. And I'm like, I have to get on the stick because I have to finish it. So you won't be seeing much except that particular project for the next probably several podcasts until I finish it. So I apologize if I'm boring for you guys for the next few weeks. But yeah, this is different yarns. It's Miss Babs and Dragonfly Fibers primarily. And it's coming along pretty quickly. I could just sit down and finish this by the next podcast if I didn't have something else to do.
I did check the calendar, and...
Did you get your notebook?
Yes, I got it. Next Thursday is free.
Okay.
I checked both of our calendars. So let me go ahead.
Next Thursday or this Thursday? Which Thursday are you talking about?
Next week's Thursday is also free. So in the interest, I'm sorry, I'm really close to the mic. In the interest of kind of making this week less packed, because I know it's been a bit of you need one day where you can breathe a little bit. So we'll do it next Thursday and just plan on that.
Is that still July?
We'll just have 2 in August. That's all. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
When life happens, it happens.
Yep.
We just have to learn to roll with it. And
I'm not good at that.
It's far enough apart that it doesn't make a difference. We've had this happen before.
Yes. And actually, I used to be fairly good at it. It's just age.
Well, it's hard. So the Zoom has for July has been moved to the first Thursday of August.
It might be the 2nd of August or something like that.
July Zoom has been moved to. I'm writing myself a note so I don't forget. First Thursday in August. So I will send out an update when I'm done. I will do this and not have it be like the sock pattern I keep saying I'll put up. Now,
my yarn just keeps going to the top.
To be fair about the sock pattern, I actually have to sit and think a little bit more with that. I had to put it in 2 places. I had to put it in Lovecrafts, and I had to put it in Etsy. Now that one, because as a chart, I'm not as inclined to put on Ribbler because I have to put in it won't take my chart the way I put it in. I have to put it in again, and that's just too much effort. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think Ribbler is the best place to put a charted thing anyway, because it's not necessarily, I don't feel like,
I have yet to do anything on Ribbler because I don't like working on the computer.
I've been wanting to work on those projects, but honestly, I've been having a lot of light sensitivity, not feeling well, and I've just wanted to work on very simple projects, things that just seem comforting. So I've been working a lot on Well, is it my turn to talk anyway?
It is.
On this sock, which is the next project I'm talking about.
It just never stops you anyway, so.
Well, it's kind of a nice flow in. Mm-hmm. We're very flowy today.
You just say we're disorganized and scattered, and that's fine.
I like to consider that we're flowing like a stream.
We're scattered.
We have just little, gurgling every once in a while. We're a cute little stream. Gurgle, 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 gurgle.
Excuse me, I burped.
Streams don't burp.
They go boop, boop.
They happily gurgle as you go around rocks and stuff.
They don't go around rocks, they go over them.
Well, sometimes they go around them.
They wear them down with their gurgles. Okay, let's go.
Anyway, that. So, I think that imagery got
There's a story there somewhere.
What?
That whole thing.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I think I have like the idea of a gurgling brook / stream thing because I was watching again the music video with commentary for Unchained Melody, and there's a point where he talks about, I think it's love like a stream or something, and they do such a nice job with the music for kind of making it feel like it flows. Like they kind of give you this like flow sound to make it sound like the stream is doing this, and that kind of get the imagery stuck in my head, I think. I can't quite remember why he was talking about a stream. It was the point where he almost sounds like he's yodeling. That man can sing. Anyway, it was Bobby from the Righteous Brothers. He was the first one to perform Unchained Melody. Or at least to perform it in the way that everyone does now. He was a big influence for that. And apparently the other Righteous Brother didn't want to sing it because he didn't think it would take off. So Bobby sang it by himself. And the music video that goes around, that's a live video, he not only performed it by himself, but that's how it gets known. His fiancée and his mom were in the audience. So you get this beautiful, if you ever want to just feel happy, it's a wonderful music video. It's good quality. I think it actually says entitled good quality. And that's why I'm saying, so you guys can find it if you want a music video to feel good. It's Unchained Melody, Righteous Brothers, and I think it says good quality in the description. And it's just a wonderful song. The man can sing. Honestly, if you want to feel happy, look up any Righteous Brothers music. They just make me happy. They're in my want to feel happy music list. Anyway, this is my TARDIS sock. This is Not Just Boring Boot Sock pattern by Corinne Walcher. I need to do some sock mending because a couple of my finger mix socks are developing, wearing down, or those develop holes sooner than my thicker socks. And I know part of it is that because I only have a fairly limited amount of socks, they're going to wear down faster, and I just need to keep on knitting my socks and keep up with producing them. I do know how to mend them. I need to do them at night when I feel better so that I can have socks. What I do need to do is I need to pull upstairs my, it was not already up here, my darning stuff, so that way I can fix my owl socks.
Why would be downstairs?
I think I put it down there because it was taking up room, and I was being too lazy to darn a couple socks. Because I have another pair of socks that I want to darn, my original Harry Potter Christmas socks. Those got completely worn, but those were like one of my earliest socks. And they do deserve the chance to be mended because I've worn the heck out of them. I think I walked outside with them once. That might have even been the one where I was on retreat and it looked like there was an accident, so we all ran out. And no one grabbed shoes, so I was running out of knit socks. So things like that I would do to my socks prior to understanding I need to take care of them. Anyway, I love this colorway. This, I believe, is our local dyer. So that is Wild Hair. Thank you. She has a very similar color palette to Mom's. There's been several times where we've mistaken her colorways for Mom's colorways. This isn't one of them.
I have one very similar to that.
You both have this spiral thing that you'll sometimes have happen. Now, the one thing she does that you don't do is she will have self-striping sometimes. Which, the nice thing about that, if I want a color palette similar to Mom's, but I want self-striping for some reason, I can go to her. Now, the other person I go to for self-striping is my Gobstopper one. I can't remember the name because I don't have my Gobstopper here right now. But she does DK Gobstoppers as well as fingering weight ones. Which is unusual. And I usually like to get one Gobstopper a year for it's a happy gift. And even though I haven't finished the Gobstopper that I got last year, having them add up and know that once I finish this Gobstopper, I have a Gobstopper waiting for me.
Is that your newest Yorkshire spinner thing?
Well, I love my Yorkshire spinners too. What makes me happy about the Gobstopper is A, it's already wound up for me. And then B, it looks like it's a because I go for the happy colors for that, because those are for socks. Mm-hmm. So not only do you get the fun stripiness, you have this ball of happiness that is, they're already wound up so fun where the colors are.
Yeah, just looking at that makes my hands hurt.
Yeah, I would never go through the effort of doing that, but I love having one. So the Gobstop, and they do tend to be a little more expensive because of the effort you have to put into to wind it up. It's not just dyeing. So I only can justify one a year. But it makes me happy to know that when I finish one Gobstopper, I have another one waiting, just like my Yorkshire spinners. Although I think I currently have 2 Yorkshire spinners on the needles. I just haven't been working on them because I'm trying to work on one sock at a time, so I actually finish the sock, because I have 20 socks on the needles, and I'm not even sure how much I'm exaggerating. But this is the first sock. My stall for this for a while was I had to do the heel turn and the gusset pickup, which isn't hard. But if I'm having light sensitivity or can't focus, that isn't the best thing for me to do. So I did this one day when I was feeling okay, probably at night, and now I'm just on the foot. And the toe isn't usually a hard thing. It's just the focus really develops around the heel flap and the gusset pick. Not the heel flap. The heel flap's not too bad. The heel turn and the gusset pickup. And yeah, I could go for afterthought, but I actually really like the way that a traditional gusset sock looks. I think it looks pretty. I like the way it feels. So it is my preferred sock, and I also prefer generally cuff down, although I do have a really nice pair of socks. They're 2 at a time. They are by our very own Pat. Looney Hiker. I think her patterns are under her name, though, so I don't feel bad saying her name because that's how you find her patterns.
You just gave her first name.
Well, I am going to say the besides to get a good thing to find her patterns. So, well, it's under her name, isn't it?
I don't know how it is.
Okay, so I'm not going to say... Pat, please let me know if you mind me saying the full name in the future so that people can find your patterns, because you do have very beautiful patterns. She has a couple...
It could be under Looney Hiker as well. I don't know.
I think it's not, but Pat, please let us know. Yeah. But she has several really beautiful patterns. They are 2 at a time, and they are toe up. So for a while, I was working on those pretty consistently. Then, again, because it's a lace pattern, I'm pretty sure it's lace, I haven't had the focus for that right now. So it hasn't gotten work. And also it's fingering weight, so add lace and fingering weight when I'm having focus issue and light sensitivity issues, it's not a good fit at this moment. But I do have it on needles waiting. That's the only toe up sock I have. Although I do have a couple afterthought ones when I started with the mistaken notion I'd be able to work on things while I was in forced bed rest for the surgery. Silly me. But yeah. I look forward to starting the second sock. I love this colorway. It really does make me think of a TARDIS, even though it also is kind of like Nightwing. But Nightwing doesn't have this much white. The only white I can think of is sometimes the eyes for the mask. When he has the... Because he has it sometimes where he doesn't have the thing covering his eyes. I think it has an ability to put like a opaque white on there. I know at one point, Oracle Barbara, she had people coming in to try to like kill her, and she had this like flash thing where it blind everybody momentarily so they could get away. And then she said, "Oh, hey, did you have the update that I had to your mask so that way, when it would kind of protect your eyes?" Like, well, thanks for asking after the fact, but yes, I do have that. So I think that's with the opaque, what he probably has is he has things like that. I know that Bruce sometimes has it where he can access the back computer through his mask. He's had it in some of the comics where he can actually get through like a contact thing, because that's what Bruce obviously needs, is be able to access the back computer at all times.
Does the same thing.
Tony, I don't know, they both have obsessive issues.
Tony has it right built into a screen on the mask. You see it every time you watch it.
But you don't see it when Tony's just walking around. I'm talking about where sometimes in one of the comics, Bruce developed a contact lens where he could just be walking around as Bruce and accessing his computer, probably taking advantage of the fact that sometimes Brucey will just zone out.
He just uses Tony just uses his phone.
And that's true. And also Tony doesn't have to hide it. Because I am Iron Man. You did hear that was actually a change he did, right? He wasn't supposed to say that. Like, actually...
He wasn't supposed to say a period.
But, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't supposed to say that. And then he decided it was more in character for Tony to do that. And he ad-libbed that.
He ad-libbed a lot of things.
He's so cool. He was the perfect choice for Tony Stark. They're not going to be able to replace him.
Well, I'm not going to replace any of them for the foreseeable future.
No, because they all were very much iconic in their parts. I mean, yeah, that would just be very difficult. But yes.
Are you winding down?
Yeah, I think what I got off of was the white and how it would match Dick's mask. Then it has the opaque eye things. But yeah, no, this is definitely a TARDIS if you've ever seen a picture of the TARDIS from Dr. Who. But yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Maybe. No, go ahead.
Well, I'll just let you do the whole podcast.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's see here.
I think the weather coming in, even with the thumb thing, this thumb is right. At least it's on my right hand instead of my left hand. Actually, I don't know why that matters. Right hand should be worse. This is my controlling hand for my crafting. Yeah. That's why I prefer, which is weird. And I'm sorry. I think it's even my controlling hand for my rosary making. I don't know why left is my craft hand.
It usually is. When you're right-handed, you're doing the actual activity. You have to lead. You have to guide it with the other hand.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Let me put my other.
I think I'm still sitting on this. There we go.
It's the royal shawl.
It's royal now.
Okay. My next one is in my Page and 10-year Podiversary bag. And this is my strawberry shortcake blanket from the Cerebell Scarf pattern by Sarah Sweetheart. And this got exactly 0 work after the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Still makes me happy. It's really soft.
It really does look like a strawberry shortcake kind of thing. Like it makes, you know what it makes me think of? What's her name? Princess Peach?
Oh, okay.
Not that I ever played the Mario Brothers before. I don't know why.
It doesn't remind me of her at all.
I don't know why it made me just suddenly think of Princess Peach.
If you see Strawberry Shortcake, this reminds me of Strawberry Shortcake.
Isn't there a character called Strawberry Shortcake? Like a game character?
Well, it's a doll.
Is it? Okay.
It's a doll.
I don't think I ever had a Strawberry Shortcake.
No. We didn't really get into that too much when you girls were little.
I mean, things I remember, like Polly Pocket.
And this would be good for those colors, too, for Polly Pocket.
I remember, really wanting... It was kind of like the Tamagotchis, where I really wanted the Polly Pockets. And we had several of them.
The cute thing with the Polly Pocket was that it had its own little house for the case. And I was a sucker for that kind of stuff. Even now, I like the little, all-enclosed little house with the...
It was really cute. I actually, for a while, I think we liked it better than Barbies. I wish that we had kept our Barbies that were related to the Disney princesses, because we had Belle, Beast, Aladdin, Jasmine, and also Pocahontas. I don't remember if we had John Smith. But they did a really good job of catching... Because sometimes they don't do a good job of catching the faces. Yeah. They did a good job. And... those were good. I'm kind of sad we got rid of those.
You gotta make space. I mean,
We do, and I don't know actually if you didn't put them in boxes in the back of Davina's long closet.
I don't know.
I don't know what's back there. 'Cause I don't think it's complete.
I know we got rid of all our ponies, so we had to start buying them again
Yeah.
because she wasn't doing anything with them, and now she still wants to buy them. Okay, so anyway, this is how this hasn't really changed much.
That's actually a My Little Pony type color too.
Yeah. Well, anything with that little girly stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is very, very soft ice yarn. It's a little bit difficult to work with if you make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not all the ice yarns. Like this is the first ice yarn that I've used that is like this.
We didn't think to look at the description close enough to think of what might be a little more fuzzy.
Yeah.
And she actually gets back to you pretty quickly, so if we wanted to ask her a question. Also, I think she might kind of remember me because both times I've ordered, we've had something happen with her supplier.
Mm-hmm.
So I've talked to her a couple times. She's really sweet, works with you really well. Last time, I think we've worked out things one time where we kept it and we just, paid
Yeah, the double blue.
the double blue. I think the other one I did. I'm not sure if I sent it back or I kept it for your gift as well. I think I sent it back.
I don't have. The only thing I have doubles for are the blue and that pink.
Well, the other one, she didn't end up her supplier because I think she sends it directly from her supplier. It wasn't a completely different colorway. It was not one that you had asked for. And I think I did send it back because I didn't think you would like it as much. I think
I
that's
don't
what
remember
happened.
that. So yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have
That's what I'm
necessarily
saying,
known
I
about it. It was a
remember that.
Christmas
Yeah,
gift.
That's what I was saying. I didn't recognize it. So
But yeah. But her yarn, it works up really nice.
it does. It's very. This particular one, even though it's fuzzy, it's nice to work with in terms of being on the hands. It's just that you better make sure you don't make a mistake because it's really hard to get it unstuck.
Mm.
But it's really pretty. I like it. I think some little baby's gonna like it. On their little baby body.
I think some mother's going to love cuddling her baby into that.
Doesn't really say.
And who got you into the ice yarn again?
Kara.
I think you're right. I think
Crystal.
Was it Crystal or Kara?
I can't remember if Crystal or Kara gave it to me.
I know
first.
Kara has given you some.
Kara gave me some yarn, and so did Crystal. I'm just not sure who gave it to me first.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And I did both their yarns, stuff into both of the yarns, and it's going to the pregnancy center. Because this is my go-to yarn for baby blankets.
Now, you also need to keep a stash here because you had points where you wanted to give them to people in the church.
Yeah, they're right there.
Okay, so you have yours.
Oh, the blankets. You mean?
Yeah, the blankets themselves. Because you've had a couple times where you're like, oh man, I really want to make. And people at the church have actually contacted you before about making one. So it might not be a bad idea for you to have your own stash. Just because it's not the first. You have had the church office be like, hey, can you make a blanket for somebody?
This, you can show your stuff.
Oh, okay.
I can tell what this is.
Just randomly, it occurred to me when we were talking about some of the toys that, I guess they would have been 90s toys. I mean, I know they have My Little Ponies now, but they're creepy now.
Late 80s. No, or 80s. They were 80s.
They were 80s. The My Little Ponies we had were 80s ones. Maybe 90s. They were the ones that were connected to the TV show, which was...
Yeah, 80s.
And the books. They had books, too.
The 80s to about the mid-90s.
They had cool toys back then.
They allowed kids to be kids.
Well, also, they were good quality, I feel. And they didn't look creepy. But what I was going to mention is one of the few things I think would cross over today, like even as for older kids. All the toys would cross over well today, but some of the ones would be okay for even older kids with the Tamagotchis because they kind of encourage response. Kind of like I think we mentioned this before, like the baby things for class where you're supposed to take care of a baby. If someone really wanted to, they could say, okay, you have to take care of Tamagotchi.
Oh, I'm sure they do in school.
Because I killed my Tamagotchi multiple times because I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know what this is. It looks like it's just acrylic.
Let me take a look.
Maybe acrylic.
It's just a baby. It must. I think we would have to ask her ahead of time. Be like, hey, is this fuzzy? Do you know? Because we can't. She might have a description we weren't paying attention to.
Possibly.
Because we just went, oh, color pretty.
Well, we're trying to find colors that we like.
Now, nice thing about her is she does sell them in bulk. Like that package there. Like she has a good price when she sells them in bulk.
It's a good price period.
And I mean, you haven't found this terrible to work with.
No, just as long as I don't make a mistake.
Is it as bad as Unforgivable?
Pretty darn close. I couldn't get the knot out, so I had to work around it. terms of, made the mistake. I just had to kind of work around the mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Which thankfully I know how I've done this pattern so many times that
Well, that was your bit of, I think we said it was the Amish, where they purposely put a mistake in there because only God is perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
So, that is your mistake, and that's why you did it. Never mind if that's not why you did it, but that is now why you did it.
you better, I'm getting sleepy. So
I'm sorry. It'll probably hit me at some point, but it hasn't yet. So let's hurry.
We're going to have to hurry, just keep moving.
In my bunny butt bag that Laura gave me, let's see on here. It probably says on the inside. Oh, here it is, Erin Lane.
This is I can't have caffeine right now.
Oh, yeah. This is an Erin Lane bag. I never thought I would like this plastic opening.
No, I didn't either, but it's nice.
It is nice. And it feels sturdy too.
No, that's from Rena.
No, Laura. Because Laura had held on to some bunny butt pattern for
Because Rena
me.
gave me one.
Yeah, but the reason I know this is Laura is because she had told me ahead of time she had bunny butt
Right.
fabric for me. And I also have like a small bunny butt pull bag. And I have in here, I think, a bunny butt notions no, I don't. But I had a small pull bunny butt bag as well. But on the inside, they have the cutest little faces. But yeah, I did work some. This has become my Liturgy of the Hours project because it's bigger stitches, so I don't have to worry about missing a stitch as much. Sometimes I feel when I'm overstimulating, and this will help me focus. And also it's a rhythmic movement, so I think it's kind of like stimming, where you're kind of, trying to ease up the overstimulation. And there's been points where I would get distracted during the liturgy because, I should get a drink of water, and then I lose where I'm at. But for whatever reason, unless I'm having a really bad day, the knitting of a simple project will actually make me focus better. But yeah, this is my Thorns Hooded Cow. That's the name of the pattern. It's a free pattern. If you search for it, it'll take you to a Ravelry page, which will then take you to a free pattern page, because this pattern page has all sorts of free Lord of the Rings patterns, Tolkien-related patterns. I'm not sure where on the website, how many down it is, because they have a ton of patterns, but this is one of the free patterns. I made one for Davina. I made my original one that I only wear at night. I made my red one. I made my blue-green one. I don't think I ever made one for you.
No, for Laura.
Oh, yeah, I made one for Laura. Right. I made 5 of them so far. This is my 6th. This is in Miss Babs Squash Blossom. I try to make every kind of project I want at least one in Squash Blossom, because this is my my favorite colorway of all time. I'll make sure my ring's not catching on that. But yeah, it's blowing out the screen a little bit. This is the Bomber's Hood Cow project because Bomber from The Hobbit, he had a yellow party hood. So I always make it for me out of Miss Babs. It usually takes one skein and a little bit to make it for people who want to make it out of Miss Babs. And the needle size, because we have had this asked before, is a US 10. And yeah, it's a really simple, but not simple as in simplistic. It's inspired, but it's also something that you can work on and not get overwhelmed. This I use a lot to block light when I have migraines. I sometimes will pull it over my eyes like Indiana Jones's hat.
Not that one.
Well, this one's not done yet.
Yeah, you said this.
Okay, this pattern, my red one I had, which is down here. This is my Balin's Hooded Cow. Balin or Balin? How do you think it's pronounced?
I have no idea.
This is his hooded cow. Mom gave me you gave me the blue-green one because we did a trade. You took...
I thought I gave you that pink.
Well, no, pink was a birthday gift or a Christmas gift. That was your dyed yarn.
No, not pink. I meant it was Miss Babs kind of like funny papers or something.
No, you took my funny papers and gave me.
What did I do with the funny papers?
I don't know what you did with it. Maybe you made a toy.
I think my cow upstairs might be what it was.
Oh, that might be. That might be. Because the Cerebell actually made it look nice. You looked at it and you're like, that's not going to make a good hood. And you gave me this really nice, I think it was Berlin or something that you gave me. And it's really nice. It's blue-green, and I wear it when I'm wearing either blue or green.
I don't know why I wouldn't give you that.
You gave it to me because you were like, that's not going to work for a hooded cow. Because I was just doing it, even though I didn't like the color for it. I was like, I need another hooded cow. And you were the one who was like, yeah, that's not a good choice. Here's this, if you give me that. So you were just being generous. I had taken out one of my shawls to be able to do this. Because it was a smaller shawl and I wasn't wearing very often. What was that shawl that everyone was making for a while? Weigh it, yeah. And the weight's just not a convenient weight for me. Length for me. So instead it became my hooded cow. This is what the finished thing looks like for people who might be catching us the first time. My rings are, and everything's catching on everything that's inside out. Although you'd like everything inside out. You'd like that sewn part on top for some weird reason. So, if you really wanted to, I suppose Davina usually tends to do this with her pink one when she wears it. Now hers is a little bit heavier weight, I think, because I think hers is a worsted. Or the heavy DK or something. It feels like it's heavier weight than this. I tend to wear it like this. And I wear these almost constantly because even if I'm not having light sensitivity, my head gets cold really easily. And this isn't too heavy for my scalp sensitivity. But yeah, I'm going to take it off right now because I'm warm. But that's it. Highly recommend this pattern. Now I have hood hair. Yeah, but even worse hood hair. But yeah, recommend. I'm looking forward to having this yellow. Because this will go with like brown and stuff.
Right.
Even though if I'm using brown, depending on what else is in it, I can wear the green and blue. But this will be really nice with brown. Eventually I'll do the brown. I might at some point try to get Pennies from Heaven again because I have a sport weight for it. And I don't think that was we had thought it would be a good choice, but it ended up being too lightweight. It wasn't blocking the light enough. I'll end up using that for something else. And it will still be gorgeous.
Okay. My next one is the reason I didn't do anything on anything.
Yes.
As you can see, it's in my Christina C. Mama C's.
That is such a cute bag.
I love this bag. This is going with me to the doctor on Friday. My husband has a procedure on Friday, and I'm going to be there for like 2 hours. So this is going to go.
Who's your favorite owl? What's your favorite owl?
I thought about it. He's cute.
He looks angry. He looks like really annoyed that you. Remember when Brett was trying to get over a bird fear, and she said like the owls were kind of like cats.
Yeah.
And that's what I think about now with these glaring owls. Like he looks really mad. He's hunched his shoulders and everything. He's just like. I'm going to show you the mad owl. I mean, he doesn't look mad. He's the only one who doesn't look. I mean, he looks curious.
A lot of them don't look mad.
There are a fair amount who are like, "How dare you?"
You wake them up in the middle of the day. No wonder they're mad.
This guy here, he looks like. Look at his hunched back. He's like, "How dare you?"
Your best Catherine Hepburn voice.
I guess together. Which movie? That was Philadelphia Story, because it was after her father said something like insulting to her, and she was like, "How dare you?"
Okay, this is my Home is Where the Heart Is blanket. And this was originally going to be for my husband and I, but because of, and I'll show you the other blanket after I finish this one.
This is growing really fast.
This, I didn't like the way the other one was turning out. So this is what...
It seems like every time I see it, it's grown like
exponentially.
Hugely.
Exponentially. It's just... So this is gonna. It's got a few more. I think it actually goes this way.
Yeah, it does. I can tell.
So cause I made it a point to make it rectangular and not square. And if I put it down to my ankles like this, you can see how tall it is.
Yeah.
So it's
you definitely have multiple logs to go.
Well, I've got at least two, maybe more.
Uh-huh.
Because each log is about 3 inches.
Yeah.
So every time I do a round, I have 3 inches on each side.
Yeah.
And that gives me 12 inches in length, 6 inches in length, and 6 inches in width every time I finish a set of logs. And I'm getting ready to do another color, I think. Let me see where I'm at. What color I was in.
Wouldn't it give you 3 inches each side after you finish the log, since the log is 3 inches?
What did I say?
6.
6 inches on I meant like up and down 6 this way.
But
6.
it would only be
3 and 3 is 6.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That makes sense.
I'm on my last row of this color before I go to the next one. I have, let me see here. Next set of colors.
Sorry.
Sure. I think the next set of colors is this one.
Oh, that's pretty.
Here.
Yeah, we went one day and we just,
These 2 colors.
really went through the Miss Babs site.
Yeah.
Really with a fine-tooth comb.
These 2 are next. And then I have, did I show my Miss Babs haul? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
This is stash enhancement. So
This is just an out-of-order podcast.
Yeah.
We're flowy.
We're Flowy. So this is also going to go in there. I have to pick it up. And then I might go back.
This podcast is called Flowy.
Okay. This, and
go with
then
the
I
flow.
might repeat colors in different renditions if I need more. Like I have some more of this one, which was a Miss Babs colorway from one of the Maryland Sheep and Wolves. So and I might use it with a different color that I have on the other side of it currently, which is I think I have pink on the other side for that one. Let's see. Yeah, pink.
That's nice.
I might use a green next time or something. But see, it has grown, and this has to be done by mid-September.
I think you could do that.
I think I can, but I have to focus on it.
And you're bringing the gift with you, right?
Yes, but I don't want to necessarily be doing it in the car.
No, I get that. I don't think you'll be doing that, but I mean that you don't have to worry about sending it through the mail.
No, I'll be bringing it with me.
And I have to make sure you get the rosaries too.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should get a box for them.
Yes, I would put it in a box with your name in it, and then I'll put on the blanket, blanket made by.
Well, I'm wondering, I know that when I had someone purchase a bunch of St. Paul chaplets, she purchased a ton of gifts one year. And she picked up, because I don't usually carry them in the shop, these jewelry boxes to put them in. And I mean, I might have to look for a slightly bigger one, but that might be nice to put the gift in, one for him, one for her. And then it would also be, even if we put it out, it would be easier, it would be bigger and less,
Well, what I was thinking, if you have your box, and you put that box in the box with my stuff.
Yes.
And yours will have from Talia in it. Mine will have, made by me, but it's from me and Daddy.
Yeah.
So, and I might even put it in on there as well. But this, but I made it. So
Yeah.
that they know that they're 2 different gifts.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think having it in the jewelry boxes will help that.
But I think we need to make sure.
No, I agree. Well,
because he'll know that the rosary is from you, but he might not know this is from me. Even though he knows.
No, I
do
get
this.
that. I get that.
Even though he knows I do this kind of stuff. So this is.
But I was always the one obsessively crafting. So no, I think it's a good idea.
I did have my crochet, and I crocheted Lisa.
That's right. You did. You did. That beautiful shawl.
Yeah. So he knows I do this stuff. He just might not remember.
Right. Well, it's been a while. But yeah. So you have some really pretty. Is this one of the new ones? Sorry.
Yeah, this is one of the new colors.
Okay, that's one that was kind of. It was goldenrod. Goldenrod. Yeah.
And it's really close to this one, but it is different.
It is different. I'm really glad you did go with that instead of with.
We were thinking about getting this one.
Yeah, she originally wanted to get my brain. I said it earlier. Squash blossom. My brain just died. I don't think squash blossom goes with the rest of the feel, and I'm glad she went with the goldenrod because it really matches it a lot better. I think this would have been too jarring. And you didn't want to make a gift quite that jarring.
Yeah, and see, this was originally meant to go on our bed, but when the cerebral pattern's not hard, but I don't know if I either changed my tension or I lost the hook and picked up a hook that was the wrong size or what, but it wasn't even, and I wasn't going to give somebody a gift for a wedding that wasn't even.
Yeah,
it just, and rather than take it out and do it all over again, I think I would probably kill myself.
Please don't do that.
It's just, that's figuratively speaking, of course. This I just decided this was already started. It was working up really nicely. I don't have to worry about them, feeling they can't use it because white.
Yeah.
So this is, and then I'll use the white in another project, which I'll tell you about later.
Well, I think when I'm done with this log cabin, if I ever want to make another one, and I'm going to show it after we're done here, is I might do one just in garter stitch with the design that he's already doing. Just take that as a template and just, because it's a fun thing to do, but I don't necessarily always want to have to do the chart.
Right.
So it might just be fun to have a garter stitch one go and just go as big as I want to. Because I do like having multiple layers I can pull on me on the bed without it being tucked in.
Right.
So I like having afghans available. So I have my miter square one. I had to finish making my heart, my other 10 hours or less. And then it might be nice to have my own kind of scrappy miter square that I'll do in DK.
Right.
Because the one here is in worsted weight, so I actually kind of limit it because I work more in DK than I do in worsted weight.
Right.
I would go down in needle size. And then I could just go for as long as I want, make it as big as I want, be as scrappy as I want.
My husband informed me that this has to be big. So the one I do for us, that one. The one I do for us is going to be, I think, don't hold me to it, but I think it's going to be a pattern that I will be offering.
Dad really likes the look of a log cabin. Mm-hmm. I think it reminds him of quilting. Mm-hmm. And because what did he say when I showed mine? He said it was Amish. Mm-hmm. Even that kind of feel. Honestly, it makes me feel like country. Yeah, it may. But I've heard it called prairie woman sometimes. That's the feeling. Homesteading. Yeah. It just kind of gives that old American type feel, country American, Americana. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It has that kind of feel that where you have a lot of wood. You have like the certain blues, certain pinks. That kind of like the dusty rose. What's the blue? It's kind of federal blue. There is a red. What is it? It's a brick, or is it?
Probably brick.
Yeah, but it has this sort of feel to it, and this kind of blanket fits into that feel. Kind of that feel like, okay, Grandma made this quilt, and it goes with this here. Yeah, it's just you might have things like the granny squares and things like that. It just has a certain.
And it doesn't have some of the kitschy feel that sometimes the actual granny square can have.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to its own now, but when they first started in the 60s and stuff, it's like, I wasn't even, as a kid, I was like, I'm not wearing that.
Well, some of the things they have with granny squares, in my opinion, they're just kind of not anything I'd be interested in.
Yeah, they're a little different.
I think it takes a person with a certain style to want to do that, and that's just not my style. But I also don't tend to like very airy things. And granny squares, by the nature of them, they have the designs usually have a certain amount of airiness to them. So
yeah, so this. It's getting quite, it is moving along.
Yeah, it's really growing nicely, and I think you made good decisions on the colors.
Well, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I think I was telling Dad, and I'll explain it to you later. I think I'm going to do it slightly differently on our blanket. Mm-hmm. Because this is a scrappy blanket, so I can do it the way I'm doing it here. But the one I'm going to be doing for us, and I'll explain that later, is not going to be quite so scrappy.
Mm.
But, yeah. So go ahead and do your last one.
Okay, so my last one actually is similar to yours. It's another log cabin. This is the one with the...
Oh, and actually, this is not a log cabin. It's a courthouse steps.
That's right, yours is courthouse steps. I think mine does actually qualify as a log cabin. Well, actually, you said that the courthouse steps is you do this, and then this. Mm-hmm. And so this is actually courthouse steps. Mm-hmm. He calls this a log cabin, so that's why I've been calling it log cabin. But I do the cross colors.
I think courthouse steps is a type of log cabin, or log cabin is a type of courthouse steps.
So now the only reason why this is having a slightly not square feel is because I went down a needle size from what I actually went down a couple needle sizes, I think, from what he suggested, because he likes his stuff a lot airier than I do.
Or lighter or something.
Yeah, so I didn't want quite so lightweight a blanket. I wanted it to be denser. So that's part of why I'm getting not quite as square. Some of the times I'm working on this when it's on my lap, but I've had points where I'm not feeling well and cold, and I put my project on my lap because it's long enough now where it's giving me some lap warmth.
Yeah, this could, I can wear this. I'm not cold.
Yeah.
If it's hot in here, I can't work on this.
Yeah, so this has kind of like been a convenient project. It makes me think of when I was too lazy to weave in my ends for my miter square, and I just would flip it over when I was sleeping with it, and then I flipped it back when it was daytime.
I've actually woven some of the ends in on this because I was waiting for yarn to come in and anything else I could use. So I did weave some in, but I didn't get them all in before the yarn came in.
Yeah. One thing that's nice about the log cabin or the courthouse steps is, unlike the miter square, there are fewer ends to weave in because you don't have these smaller blocks. And the smaller blocks are nice because it takes less yarn. So that is the convenient part of it. Just the slightly inconvenient part is the many yarns to weave in. And I've had points where all I want to do is actually knit them. I didn't want to, because just like this, the miter square can be a comforting project because it's like, oh good, I get to add a new color. You know?
Yeah, keep talking. I'm going to see if my stash enhancement came in.
Okay, so this is like the miter square in the comfort level, but because the miter square, and this as well, are more of cover projects, I'm not always in the mood to weave in the ends. And while that's a slight issue with the log cabin, especially if it gets bigger, it's not so much an issue with, I'm sorry, I said the opposite of what I was going to say. It is much more of an issue with the miter square because there are many squares. I actually don't like my squares too big for the miter square, but I also don't want them too small. I have like an in-between one, which is what I did for my Afghans on my bed. But my fingering white one is in timeout because one of the squares developed a hole and I got mad at it and I put the project in timeout. So I don't know when I'm picking that one up again. I just got mad at it. Sounds like maybe you have stash enhancement and that'd be good. Well, that was convenient. But yeah, that is it with this. So I added this blue, I think I had last time. But next step after this is finished, I am close to finishing this particular log. Then I'll do the same blue on the other side. And then I'll have two other blues. I think it's bright blue, like a zing type of blue. That's going to be on the side with these brighter reds. But yeah, this is the blanket that Dad said he thought it was Amish, which kind of caught me by surprise because I would have never said Amish.
I was in the country for that.
Yeah.
Even though Amish is pretty much country.
Well, this doesn't have even the country colors. Like, it's definitely, these are just like, this is what I happen to have.
Airy.
Well, the color, like some of them are just too bright, but these were the colors I happen to have.
That reminds me of it.
Yeah. And because I've been listening to a lot of Dolly Parton, now I got in my head the coat of many colors. Yeah, where they had all the rags that you put it together, or Mom put it together. Beautiful song.
Yep.
But the one that makes you cry is me and Sandy, I think it is. With the dog and the little girl. It's sad, but she does an amazing job of imitating a little girl's voice. Dolly Parton is amazing. And when she's performing it live, she even like does, you know how kids do these motions where they'll have the big eyes and they look up at you. Mm-hmm. And then when she's saying something like about somebody, and she starts playing with her sash and looking down the way sometimes kids will do when they're saying stuff. The woman, definitely a performer. I like her stuff best when she's live. Yeah. She's one of the ones who, like, there are artists, I think these are usually the ones that are used to, like, remixing, where they're not as good live, but she comes from an era where she's actually better live.
Well, she started out on the stage.
Right, and she...
Not on the stage, but on
TV.
No. She started out with a mentor, Nashville.
I saw him, I think.
I can't think of the name of the place. And they're probably shouting at me because I can't, it's a well-known place.
The old, Opry?
Grand Ole Opry, I think was called.
Yeah. I know she was on a TV show.
Oh, yeah, but that was later.
Well, no, I don't mean the Dolly Parton show.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
She started out with this guy in Nashville.
Yeah, he had a guitar. He had a guitar, and apparently the guy I'm thinking of.
She felt bad about leaving him. She made sure they stayed friends.
Well, there's one guy that she had it where he actually, like, there was actually a lawsuit about when she left, and there's a bunch of songs. But when he ran into trouble, she, being the amazing person Dolly Parton is, she bailed him out, even though they had, not necessarily parted on the best terms.
Well, that's what friends are. I mean, that's, you move past.
Well, I didn't realize that, like, Dollyland, like, one of the things she would do is, like, help kids who didn't have, and they had, like, the book club, or I guess some of the people in the comments of the videos were saying, like, yeah, when you sign up, people a lot of times sign up when the kid is born, and then they get a free book every month until, like, 5.
Oh, that's nice. And children's books.
Yeah, children's books. And it's just amazing person. But yeah, one of the things I noticed with her is a performer. But yes, that makes me think, rather than like the Amish type stuff, this makes me think of the coat of many colors. Even though it's not rags or whatever, but that's what it makes me think of, because the colors are really very mismatched. But yeah, because actually I literally went through my stash like, okay, what do I have that's worsted weight?
Well, a lot of that's what I did with this. I mean, I do have stuff that I bought, but the stuff that until the later stuff, the stuff that I bought was not intended for this. I just bought it.
The difference is we work a lot more DK, so you had a lot more available to you. I don't work a lot of worsted. So I was doing a lot of scrounging because I don't have a lot of worsted. It's just not a weight I generally work in anymore. And I really didn't want to go to a different weight. Usually I mix match my DK and worsted, but I tend to do that more for the mitered square, where I can kind of fake it better. But I can't fake it as well with this. So, but my next one will be DK, because I have more yarn for that. And it just means I get to work out longer. But yeah, that is my coat of many colors blanket.
I need to block this off, or call it here, so I don't lose my stitch. Not that it'll be a problem to redo. I just don't want to redo it. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be starting another log today while we're watching TV, watching our person of interest. Provided my hand allows me to.
Have you gone past the point where I stopped?
Oh, I'm sure we have. I don't know where we stopped.
I think right before...
We're in season 4.
Well, I think I made season 4, but right before the event, that with the one character where they don't come back.
Oh, yeah.
That's past?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was in the third season.
Oh, okay, I couldn't remember. So I didn't make it past third season, because I knew that was going to happen. I knew I physically probably couldn't handle that. So I stopped there, because it's an intense TV show.
It is.
But it's a good TV show.
It got really high ratings. Dad was surprised at how high the ratings were.
You see, I don't know how I found it, because I must have found it via YouTube or something.
It's really good.
Because I didn't know about the ratings. I just knew I liked Caviezel. And that's how I started watching it, I think. Because my first introduction to Caviezel was Frequency.
Yeah.
Even though I know he was in Count of Monte Cristo.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't seen it yet. But I really love Frequency, and I watched that over and over. I should need to watch it again.
We need to move, because I'm getting tired.
Okay. I will crash later.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, I'm just really tired. I don't know if
you can't have caffeine, and you worked out beforehand.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it is. I'm just tired. So, anyway, so what are we moving on to?
Well, we've done a bunch of personal stuff. I think that makes us journal and stash enhancements.
Okay, let's do journal stuff.
Okay, let me finish my stitch. Because you have a couple journals to show. Which one is the one you want to show first?
I'll probably show this one first.
Okay, because I only have one journal.
All right, well, this one, I'm not going to show you a whole lot because it's my religious journal, and honestly, it's not that spectacular, and it's kind of not...
Well, it tends to be personal as well.
But this one, this page I don't want to show you. I don't know if you can see.
I'll bring it closer so you don't knock the mic.
The yellow there.
This there?
Yeah. And that's it says he lifts me up. And then,
now, I don't know how much that blew out on the screen because the yellow was very bright.
And then this one is just more to show a difference in style. I'm not going to show you.
Yeah, you don't want to go closer than that.
See what I wrote. So there's a little bit of a kind of a lighter journaling pen in the background, but it's nothing spectacular for this particular one. had a aha moment and down it all went.
I had an issue with I didn't bring my religious journal because it wasn't anything spectacular. What really was just writing some quotes down from when I was doing a Bible study. But I had something where one of the quotes I wanted to put down, I miswrote something or I didn't give myself enough room. So I had to go and find something to put over it and then write on that. Mm-hmm. I've had that happen a couple times with journal things where I'm like, oops, how do I make this work now?
Yeah, that's what journalism is all about. Those kind of the creativity of making, because once you paste it down, it's hard to correct.
Yeah, and so in my case, it was written on the page, so I had to paste something on top of it. I wrote the thing on top of it before I pasted it, so that way I knew it would fit, because I wasn't going to do that again.
You can see here, I had to, I was afraid that wouldn't be read very well over this, and I should have made the thing under it instead of on top of it.
Yeah.
And so...
now, you could, if you wanted to, still trace what you already wrote. Like
I did.
Do it darker?
That's what I did.
Okay.
And then this is that, this is just something that I don't usually do like that.
Yeah.
That's that one.
But here's my booktube journal. Now, at some point, I want to get one of, I don't forget her name. The one who does your journal.
Oh, you're talking about Stacy.
Thank you. At one point, I want to get one of Stacy's. It's not as much of a junk journal for my booktube journal because this is kind of working in conjunction with my with a Storygraph and with Goodreads. So this gives me a physical thing to look at instead of just staring at my phone when I'm on booktube, and it's just fun.
Yeah, eventually when I finish my religious one, I'm going to get another one from Stacy.
Yeah, because this is just
again, not quite as much of a junk journal.
Because this is just something I happen to have. It has a Serenity Prayer on it.
Yeah, this one I did on my own. So go ahead and show yours now.
So I picked up a bunch of stars you use for school. Some of the stars I do have, not these right here, but some of the ones I have are actually from when Mom used to grade our schoolwork. We were almost out of the gold stars, and I think the silver ones are a bit low too. I think you usually tended to give the gold ones because those were
gold were all A's.
Well, we must have done pretty well because I don't think I have any golds from there. I had to pick up more of that particular brand to get more golds, and I probably will stick with that brand versus this one. This comes on in huge sheets, and it's harder to store, and the stars come off the sheets, and this is just easier. It's also not as big. I mean, I'll finish up the stars I have on this other one, but I just like our ones that we use for school better.
Well, somebody was talking, I don't know if it was Blessed Is She or what it was, how she was doing all the stars, and you had the smaller stars, and you got the big gold star.
And I could, I could do something like that in a journal where I take one of my big ones, put it on the top, and then have streaming little stars. So a stream here, here,
right,
and then this.
Or you could just, if you're grading something, this is a stellar book, and these are this is the stellar gold platinum, if you will.
Yeah.
And then you have just the golds and just the silvers and just the blues or whatever.
But this is The Faithful Executioner, really good book if you want a different view, just a unique kind of view of the 16th century. I would have never thought of picking this up. I don't even know how it came up that I found this book, but I'm glad that I did listen to it. I would recommend, I'll talk about it more on my booktube. I need to do another booktube, but yes, I'm having fun with this. I did make a little bit more effort to copy the audiobook cover this time. And I'm trying to match the stars with the colors on the book. So this one had a lot of blues and greens, the Washington one. I didn't have, actually it doesn't technically have blue in here, we had green, but we don't have any green stars.
I have green stars.
Maybe we used up all our green stars. Or for whatever reason I forgot and I went with the blue. I'm trying to match them. And I'm glad I have actual stars because I can't draw stars very well. And besides, it's more fun to have stickers every once in a while.
Yeah. And when I was talking about the time that she just picked that up, this is what I have for mine because I put it together. I got this book, and
yours looks more journaly because of that.
Yeah, when I finish this one up, I will probably contact Stacy and ask her to do it slightly less junk journaling. Maybe still have some of the graph paper and stuff in it, but not the different sizes or whatever. She's very accommodating. I'll tell her what I want. I'm sure she can do it.
I'm a lot less anal, I find, with my book one, where I don't mind crossing things out. Because this really isn't like my junk journal where you have to go and find something to put underneath, and this really is the most journaly thing about it is the stickers and the cover.
This one, I finally had time to do something with.
Yay!
This is one of Stacy's. Isn't that beautiful?
And hang on, bring it up a little bit so they can see the
I love
dangly.
this. I love this, and I refuse to put anything in it until I have space where I can do it the right way.
And she's cleared off her desk where she used to have her laptop, so now she has a working place for her journaling if she wants to.
So the pages I worked, I thought I'd.
Oh, Mom, this is so great.
What?
That looks so awesome.
I showed this one last time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
I'll show you what she's oohing and ahhing about.
I don't... Whoopsie, careful, Mike.
That's an old one. And then I didn't want to do this page because I didn't know how much space I'd need.
Uh-huh.
So I went and I said, okay, I'll do a middle, but
You skipped.
Which Brittany knows I do this anyway sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I do that too now. I just put it wherever
for the junk journal
Yeah.
especially because I need to be able to fit it. But this is this what I did here.
You see, this is... Mom does journaling so nicely. Like, hers actually looks like journaly.
It says here, thank you. This says enjoy the simple things, and then here it says,
Whoopsie.
Just take that out.
Okay, just take it out.
Yeah. It says, have the best day, and I wrote down, and invite a friend, and if you open it here, you see he has a little snail there.
Aww.
Okay? And then if you open this part, Laura gave me a bunch of stickers.
Oh.
So these are, it says, and then with Laura's stickers, it says things like tortoise versus hare, autism awareness, and then you have the, a crochet movie podcast, and a lot of Pop Girl yarns. So she's the friend who made it in there.
This is so cool.
So that's that. I was like, yeah, I think I should do that.
I haven't yet got the inspiration, to put something in my binding one the way I want to. Usually, if I do something in the journal, it has to be an inspiration. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why my religious one gets used a lot more. Now, my book one is very much a utilitarian thing, which is why it's not as pretty. But
sometimes the writing ones can be pretty too. It's just the way you set it up. Like I have.
Well, the thing is, because it's utilitarian, it's not all side and all this.
My journal that I use for mass and for my Bible studies and stuff like that is over there, and I didn't bring it with me. And that one is basically all writing, but I'll have things like boxes, and I will write this way in it. Because
I'm using this as a prompt for my booktubes, I'm not umming and ahhing so much, or ahhing, excuse me. So it has to be organized in a way that I'm not trying to, whoopsie, that was the Bard song, Dan Vasquez version. But anyway, for me that would not work very well for what I need it for. The closest I get for being at all artistic is the drawing of the covers.
And I can't do that. I don't know how to draw, so I can draw. I just don't.
Well, other than George Washington, it really is not showcasing what I can be capable of.
When I do artwork, I'm a little bit more by feel. I'm more likely to use shapes and things like that. I mean, not modern. I'm not talking about that, but colors.
Well, I think that's very freeing the way you do it. I think some of my perfectionism it actually has been limiting for me, because if I don't like how it works, or I don't think that I can make it the way I want it to look, I just won't do it. I'm not an artist with a capital A where I will just draw all the time. I do it when it's convenient to me.
You have to qualify that, because what we do is art.
Okay, so I'm not a...
You're not not even a visual artist. You're not a drawing artist.
Yeah.
A traditional, I don't know. I guess Daddy would call it, we do a lot of crafts.
Well, what we're doing is fiber art. Yeah. And that's what I would say for that. I'm using the traditional form for artists, which is...
Because music is art.
But, usually you will not call a musician an artist.
You call an artist a music artist.
But then again, music artist. You won't just say artist. Usually, or they will make it very clear that when they're saying artist, it is in reference to. If you just say artist in by itself, people usually will think drawing, not singing.
Sculpting, painting.
Yeah. Usually it's drawing, sculpting, painting, and then they'll go more into detail with painter or sculptor. With drawing, you're not a draw. Now, comics still call them pencilers.
Inkers.
Well, the inkers are the ones. Okay, so there's a penciler who does the actual drawing. There's the inker who does the inking. And a lot of times you'll get some of the details that's really nice where they'll deepen the shadows or whatever. And then you'll have the colorist on top of that. So I've actually learned, because I do sometimes do a comic section for my booktube. I had done one video and then I had someone request that I do more of them. So every once in a while I'll do a commentary on, particularly I focus on the artwork because that is part of what I enjoy about it. But I now have gotten to the point because of that, I will look at who the penciler is, who the inker is, and who the colorist is. And eventually I might start recognizing them as I continue to do that. But yeah, maybe you could call it penciling? I don't know. But regardless, I'm not like Davina or Dad where I'm constantly doing, I don't have that inspiration. That is not my main form of art. So
I share that perfectionist view, which is why I tend to go more towards stickers as opposed to drawing, because you saw the Daffy Duck I did, you saw some things like that. I can do it on occasion. It's too much work. Mm-hmm. I don't have the ability to just kind of effortlessly see this, okay, this, I can do it. I really have to work at it. And so now, to be fair, I'm going to use that as an example. I don't think it's necessarily effortless either. It's like when we were learning how to do either of our crafts. When I started knitting, it's not like I just woke up and was like, oh, this is effortless. I had to learn. But you have a proclivity to it. You have a leaning toward it. For me, music was like that. Mm-hmm. Even before I got my guitar lessons and started lessons, I was sitting there plucking things out on the guitar. I hadn't had a lesson. I hadn't practiced. I couldn't, by any way, shape, or form, say I was a guitarist, but I was already having.
That makes sense, because I definitely don't have that bent, even though I like the idea of it. Davina's a lot more like Davina.
I can sit down at the piano, and I can sometimes feel like I see where the note should be.
It's funny, because you can see it through the generations. You have Grandma who's like that.
Oh, she's really good.
She picks up like an accordion and just starts going.
Yeah.
Does she own an accordion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I told her I wanted it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I wanted it.
I'm sure you could figure, because you have the same gift she does.
It's very heavy. Oh. It's very heavy. It's not a concertina. This is a huge accordion.
Does she still play it?
She might.
Someday,
she's never had a lesson. She sits at our piano, plays both hands, plays the piano.
She's just very gifted, and you see it go through the generations of our family. Grandma with her huge accordion, which I actually never seen her play, which I kind of want to...
pictures of her.
I kind of want to be like, hey, can you bring your accordion with you?
With her big 60s wig and the...
If she still has the accordion, I kind of want to be like, can you bring your accordion with you?
Years old.
Yeah. I bet she can still play it.
Oh, I'm sure she can.
Because I've never heard her play the accordion.
My mom is very talented.
I owe her a phone call. Because, yes, we have guilty pleasures we talk about. But, so Grandma with her ability to just pick out just about anything on the piano, and she plays the accordion without having any lessons. Mom is the same way with being able to basically see the music.
I can't do the left hand very well. I can do the right hand.
And then Davina, I think any of the issues she has tends to be more focused, because she's also very gifted in being able to hear it. Because there's quite a few songs that she has not read the notes for. Can you read notes? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's harder for me for piano.
Are the notes different?
Well, the right hand is the same, but the left hand is in the bass clef, and that's different.
So is it like a layered, like do you have, like they're really close together, and this is like left hand?
You have a top line and you have a bottom line.
And then there's a space for the next.
Well, you usually have the words in between.
Oh, okay.
And then, if I can remember, it's been a while since I looked at the music, and you'll have the treble clef is that really kind of pretty kind of...
Okay, a really nice symbol.
And then the one that's the bass
is like
clef,
the little C
with the thing on it.
Okay.
And
the only reason why I have an idea what she's talking about is because I sing sometimes. I don't sing well, but I sing sometimes from when we're in choir, so I know what it looks like. I just can't read it. So the C is the left hand and the pretty is the right hand?
Well, yeah. Basically. Sometimes, sometimes you won't have both hands, or sometimes you just, whatever. But,
Can I use a stitch marker?
maybe.
I think I do, because I had a stitch marker opposite of this. I mean, I know where it goes, but I always lose like one stitch marker, it seems. I probably got distracted and excited, and I lost my stitch marker.
Yeah, I lost my big stitch marker too. I had to find it.
Well, it's one of these little ones with like the little...
Oh, right. So I lost one of the big locking stitch markers.
I keep losing during the podcast like a little ring stitch marker.
Well, we'll have to-
Last time I lost it from my blanket, and I've just never replaced it because I'm constantly losing that one.
what size is it? How big is it?
It's just one of these. Oh, there's something underneath. I found it. Thank you. You know what helped me find it? This little ball thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I felt it under my foot. So once I get, because it's right here where it connects there, and this is where I do my, actually I do it right before the two. Okay, that's where I do, right where I need to be.
Okay, do you have any more?
No.
Okay. So
This is where I do my decreases for my toe.
how about stash enhancements?
Stash enhancements,
I have quite a bit.
I
actually.
don't, oh wait, I have these.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to go through and see which ones I want. Oh, yes. Can you get to it?
Yeah, and I have a lot more than what I let you go through too, but.
But most of my stash enhancements a lot of times tend to be books because I am like the book scavenger because I go and find sales, some of them quite extreme. Like I have a book on John Fisher, who, if you know your English history during Tudor period, he was one of the biggest defenders of Catherine of Aragon. Actually, it's what got him beheaded, besides the fact that he was pushing back against Henry VIII when Henry VIII was breaking from the church and was trying to force everybody to basically agree to have loyalty to him and religion versus the Pope. So he pushed back with that, and he was really annoying to, in Henry VIII's eyes, for being Catherine of Aragon's one of her biggest defenders. So you can't find books on him. And I found one that was like, one of those books that you copy, and so sometimes the pages are like a little...
I used to call them mimeograph.
It's really hard to find, and they're usually really expensive. I found one for like $7 on eBay. They have that thing where it looks like they printed out the label, but they haven't sent it out yet. And I'm like, where's my book? I want my book. So that one's coming in. But that's how I find books. It smells good. There's something with roses in here. There's not... I don't know if it's this one.
I think the reason I looked at these and this is Mother's Day. So
Yes, so Davina got...
It's spring teas, and I'm not a big fan.
I think that Davina gave you the gift card maybe you picked up. No, I think I gave her the book.
She gave me the thing.
So this is... And she'll get the tins back.
Yeah, I wanted the tins. I didn't care about the tea. I wanted the tins.
So we think these are black teas. So I'll just use them like I do black tea one. And I'll figure out which ones I like. And so all the different ones, they all say Happy Mother's Day on them. And they're all supposed to like represent mothers. Like for example, this is a really interesting one where it has a mother holding a child. You saw the Wonder Woman one. This has mother hugging. It's called Hug. The other one was called Trust. The one before that was Hero. This is Admiration, the queen of the family. Then this one
Yeah, that's my favorite.
was Wisdom.
My favorite tin.
Yes. And then this one, come here, is Love. They're really cute tins.
That was a cute. I wanted the tins, not necessarily the tea. So yeah. Don't forget your bunny tea.
My lips are dry. So this is a Spot of Love. And this is a tea I really enjoy. I have to make sure I measure it out right so I can get the nice vanilla flavor. I think I finally figured out how to measure it out right for Jane Austen. Because I do absolutely love this mug. It actually fits very perfectly in my warmer. It covers the whole warmer. But I have to actually hold the warmer sometimes pulled out because it wants to pull the warmer with it. But it's a pretty much... You have a Sherlock Holmes one like this.
Yes.
And it has all these sayings. It's really got a classic feel to it. Now, the only thing that I don't like about it is that the normal, thicker tea covers don't fit on this, so it doesn't stay quite as warm if you don't have it on a warmer. But, yeah, this is my vanilla Spot of Love.
I decided I didn't want it after all.
Mm-hmm. I probably will start using some of my other ones, like my Poirot one, and... I don't use it often anymore, my King and Queens of England one, because it's itty-bitty ones, and I'm not making the huge big thing of tea and pouring it in there anymore. So that one doesn't get used as often. But, okay, so some of these... Okay, this one I already know. Oh, this is empty, Mom.
Okay, yeah.
Here you go. Jack the Swordsman. Butterscotch, caramel, and fiery cinnamon spice. I'll have to look up how to make this one. If not, I'll assume it's black tea.
It is. I for some reason I didn't like that. I thought I would.
Okay, so I'll have to try this one.
And that apparently is a Jack.
Sure.
I forget what it was.
It looks like it has Christmas stuff on it, like Christmas lights.
Yeah, but that's not. I forget what it was. I was really surprised.
And this one's called Janet.
That's one of Chrissy's.
Oh, it's nice that it actually... Mom, this is low caffeine.
It is?
Yeah, take that.
Oh, there's two of them in there. There's two different ones, 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is Harley Quinn. Now, initially you really liked this. I've actually not tried this one. I think you read the information and decided you would like... No, I know what it was.
I like the community.
You like the community. I must have given it to you for some reason.
I purchased it.
Yeah, but you had to try the community. I'm not sure if I gave it to you because I thought I wouldn't like it. Or maybe, I don't know.
No, I had it in my own community.
Okay. It might not have had... You're right. I might have been on an off period for community, and it was during your on period.
Yeah.
That's what it might have been one of the ones where they gave you a box.
Yeah.
Because you tend to have that happen to you. I mean, like the little sample box.
We both got a big box.
It was really nice of somebody.
Yeah, that was really nice.
But this is Harley Quinn. It was right before my surgery.
Yeah, I think that's why they did it.
Yeah, it was really sweet of them.
Yes, it was. I still have no clue who did it. It's very nice.
This one is Melissa Hama, moderate caffeine. So
yeah, that's another one of Chrissy's.
So it's got pu'er tea, apple pieces, orange, rose hips, hibiscus. Mom, you should keep this in case you can go up.
I don't have space.
Okay, because this is pu'er. And it's got hibiscus. Got spice flavor, cinnamon, ginger, aniseed, natural peach. And I'm saying that not because I don't like these things, but Mom loves pu'er and she loves hibiscus. So it's like her flavor profile. And
I mean, if you haven't gotten to it by the time I can do it again, I'll take it back.
Because Mom, it has pink peppercorns in it. So like it has your 3 like weaknesses in it. It has pu'er, it has rose hip. 4. Pu'er, pu'er, hibiscus, cinnamon, and pink peppercorns. That's like has your name on it.
Actually,
it has Melissa's name on it, but you know. This one is Clayface. I've not actually tried this one. Did you get a Batman box?
No, I just purchased it.
Okay, so this is Clayface. I haven't
tried.
tried.
And it was actually it's got chocolate and stuff in it. It's supposed to be good.
I wonder if it's chai. I can't smell it.
That's one of looks like one of Woody's.
It does look like it's one of Woody's. Autumn Cocoa.
Or Irishman's.
Yeah, because that kind of has that feel of theirs, which means I should be able to look up to see how I prepare it. It's chocolate vanilla oolong. Oh, that sounds good. Chocolate chip. I should try.
I gave it 4 stars.
Did you? Here's Felicia. That's a pretty name. Oh, good. She puts I love that she puts the information on there. This is black tea, oolong tea, rose hips, hibiscus, apple pieces, natural blueberry flavor, blueberries, natural almond flavor. The one thing that might make you dislike is the raspberry leaves. Hopefully all the other flavors will hide it.
If I remember correctly, I tested these teas, which is why I had them. I did not purchase these, a lot of them. Some of them I did, but not all of them. And I tested them for her. So, if you like them, fine. If you don't like them, fine.
Yeah, because the only thing for me is a lot of times my 2 things usually 3 things that usually turn me off of tea: chai, rooibos, and raspberry. Mm-hmm. Anything with it's either like the actual raspberries or the raspberry leaves. I notice it like right away. Sometimes cranberries because it's the same bitter type profile.
I don't mind the cranberries.
And if you have cranberries and raspberry stuff together, now that's why. Now I think my Good King Wenceslas sauce we said it was no caffeine. Or low caffeine. I remember when we were going through my teas to try to find. I think Good King Wenceslas sauce one you could have. I actually don't care for it very much because it's got. I was trying to get this Christmassy flavor to it, and it has cranberries in it, and they also put raspberry leaves to get a certain flavor. So it's right up the way I built it. I think it was right up your alley, but it was something that I
have to be careful with the raspberry leaves. The raspberries, not so much, but the raspberry leaves.
This is one of the birthday ones, and this is going to be staying in the tin right now because I have a birthday thing that's completely full and I can't stick anything else in it. So this will stay in the tin.
I emptied a couple tins into tins, but I actually had containers for it.
Okay, this is Janet too.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom, this is a little caffeine.
Yeah, this is a. I told her what I felt about this one, and she changed it for this one.
So this is Tim. You can't have this. This is high caffeine.
That's really good.
And I'm going to just pretend this is like Tim Drake, Robin, because
that is a really good tea. I like that one a lot.
So this is pu'er, ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, coconuts, natural chocolate flavor, Assam melody. Oh, I like Assam. Pu'er Dante, cloves, dark chocolate chips, and naturally spicy cinnamon flavor with cornflowers and orange peels. Okay, that could be good.
It is good. That's a good one.
That could be good.
I gave that one a good review.
The reason why I read through it is Mom and I do have a slightly different flavor profile. She likes very spicy, and she likes sweet. I sometimes like sweet, and I sometimes like spicy. She also likes chives, and sometimes rooibos.
Sometimes.
But I tend to have a very black tea profile. Sometimes I'll go through a period where I'll like green teas a lot, but
green teas are kind of hit or miss. But I do like the which is not a green tea. I'm just kind of jumping to the black tea type thing. I love Faro.
Oh, that's a mott.
Oh, it's a mott. I do like the mott. My not a mott and chocolate has 2 motts in it.
Yeah, motts are good.
I
have a couple teas that I've designed with a couple motts in it.
Yes, and that was only moderate caffeine, so I'm hoping I can bump it up.
There must be something else in there that's even if, did you have not hibiscus the one that's similar to a it's an herbal
Honeybush.
honeybush. Thank you.
Honeybush.
That's probably what brought down the caffeine level. Is in spite of the fact that you have 2 motts, you have honeybush, which you could usually do at any temperature. Because I've noticed that with one of the other teas that I enjoy that has a mott on it, I could do it at a higher temperature because it's with something else.
Yeah, I like honeybush. I like honeybush tea. It sweetens things out, and it's not as whatever it is where this is. It's nice. But
I need to continue reading my big tea book. That was a good book. And then I can learn more so we can talk about tea.
let me show you the rosaries that Ty gave me.
Made
me, yes.
me.
I want to get to that point. This one she remade me because she made it for me at the beginning, and then she remade it because the beads were not working for me.
Yeah, because sometimes if you have either sensory issues or if you're having pain in your hands, metal isn't always the best, and also wood layer weight.
So this is my Pauline crucifix on here.
And the beads our father beads are purposely different than the wood ones because Mom's not always looking at her rosaries when she's praying, and it makes it have a different feel, so she's not just going through and forgets to do the Our Fathers.
And this one's my Mary Magdalene that she made me.
Accidentally on the right before the Feast of Mary Magdalene.
Yep, but you didn't give it to the day after.
Yeah.
So this you can't really see.
Actually, I made it on the Feast of Mary Magdalene. I finished it on the Feast of Mary Magdalene.
So you can't really see the centerpiece with Mary Magdalene in there.
Yeah.
And so I really like
And
that.
that is, I forget what
Pink onyx?
No, not onyx. Onyx is black.
No, pink.
Not agate? No. I have to look it up later. But it's a pink stone. I have a green one as well. And the Our Father beads are onyx, black onyx. I got into black onyx because someone came up with an idea of a chaplet they wanted. And used to have this happen quite a bit, where someone would see a listing and then come up with an idea that was completely different than any of my listings, and I would build that thing for them. The only reason why I'm not having these listings in my shop anymore, first of all, I was getting very stressed because I couldn't keep up. Not because I necessarily, well, for a while I was getting a fair amount of orders at one time, particularly with sacrifice beads. But I was getting stressed. I was afraid I'd make a mistake because of the fatigue. And now with all my light sensitivity, I'd have trouble keeping up. But there was that, and also there was a fear that if I made too much, I could lose my disability, even though it wouldn't be enough to really. And also, I couldn't be consistent. So.
And we determined that you wouldn't have made enough to do that, but
yeah, there was an accident where they thought that I made enough to ruin it, but then it turned out that my fundraiser for my surgery accidentally got counted in what I made. But I got sufficiently scared that I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull things out unless maybe I put up the sacrifice beads up again. And only once in a while put a rosary, so I don't get quite so stressed and overwhelmed. Like maybe around Christmas time or something like that.
Christmas time we said, I think, the wedding season.
Right, and I missed my chance this time around.
Well, yeah, but even not feeling well. And you also had to make some special things.
Yeah, and also hadn't gotten around to taking the pictures of the ones I finished because I wanted to have, initially I had stainless steel for the female one, but then I got that really pretty pink stone, and it looks really nice with the white cord, and then because I wanted to do the black onyx for the male one. So it worked well because the black onyx and the pink stones are also lighter. Because the stainless steel would have made the wife one a lot heavier than the onyx. Because before I'd used hematite for the male one. So I like it a lot better with the black onyx and then this pretty pink one. But I'd have to list them again. Or I had to make the list again. Just like, I had to make my sock list.
This is the order that I just did.
Whoopsie, it's a bunny.
I ordered, my friend made this special for me because, well, she wanted to do low caffeine for me because she knew I couldn't. It's not like she did with my names, Marlisha. She did those for me already.
Yeah.
And she made a couple of those low caffeine for me. We did them. This one I tested for her because it was low caffeine. They said, this tastes really overwhelming like lavender water. I can't drink it. And I said, it might be good for someone else. But she said, well, let me see what I can do. I said, well, if you do, I'll pick it up. She said I have it done, so I went and I picked it up. This is called Low Calf Lavender Gray Chocolate Truffles.
That could be good. Sometimes, I think the London Fog one that I like so much has some lavender in it, but because they only do a touch of lavender, it's not overwhelming.
Well, that's just what it was. The reason I picked this up was I had something in the community box, the last one we had, I think it was, and it had lavender Earl Grey, and I thought, I'll like this. And I saw that she had it. I said, okay, I'm going to try that. And when I talked to her about it, she said, well, she was kind of wrong. She said, I don't really like lavender myself, she said. So she said, I told her what I thought, and she put in, she lowered the lavender content a lot. She got rid of something. She added chocolate and chocolate chips.
Ooh.
So this is going to be really good. I can't wait to taste this.
That might also be good with a touch of milk. Kind of like the London Fog is. Now I kind of want to have my London Fog.
So this is one of the things I got. And in this one, a friend of mine, I didn't even know her at this point. So she's just really a very slight acquaintance. And she, out of the blue, just gifted me this. She said something about my attitude or something. I forget.
Something about your positive attitude made people happy.
And so she gave me this in this size. And I liked it so much that I finished the tin almost.
Yeah, you were really fast in finishing that.
So I got this for this. And I have one. Have I done the other order yet? I haven't done the order. I have to reorder my pumpkin chai one. But this is really, really good. I truly enjoyed this. And this is my tea enhancement. And it seems like I have a lot of enhancements. I do, but it's for a reason.
Yeah, you were updating your...
Do you have more, or should I go?
No, I that's all I have because I went through mine.
I think I showed my my last expression fiber art.
Yeah, you did.
You saw this briefly when I said the colors. I have to wind these. These are two mixed bats that are going in the blanket I'm doing for a gift. And then I went to Knit Picks and purchased some yarn because I'm going to make a similar blanket myself and my husband.
This one really is going to have a country feel to it.
Yes, this one I'm just going to pull out. I got 2 skeins of everything except for the darker red. And I'm going to be pulling the white out of the original blanket that I had for my gift. And it's going to be going in here as well. So let me show you the colors I got. And I think I'm going to have to get more eventually, but right now this will be enough to start.
This is a really nice yarn.
This is Swish Bulky.
Did you get any of the heather? Oh, you did. That's such a lovely color.
What?
This one.
Yeah. Well, that's my centerpiece. Let's see. 1, 2. Okay. This goes together. This goes the green. Let me see the green. No, I have that one. This is yeah. Okay. So this is going to be the center square. Like you saw the center square of my shawl. now I saw my blanket. Okay. And then I'm going to have a white, and then these will be the logs around after the white. And then I think this is going to be next after the white, white after the red, because go color, white, color.
Mm-hmm.
So this, and then there'll be white again, and then it'll be this and white. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go then back to the blue and to the red, or if I'm going to go red, start over again.
Right.
I haven't quite decided that. So that's the colors I have. I didn't have to buy the white because I already had the white, which was nice because it was already a little bit pricey. But that's what most of my stash has for that. So I didn't just go buying things all over the place.
Yeah.
But I did finish labeling my yarn, so maybe I'll get that up at the shop.
Yay.
I apologize. I haven't really felt like doing anything.
Well, the weather has been such that it really has been sapping.
Yeah, it has. And the days have been caught up because different people have had different appointments and things. Like on Friday, I have to drive Mike for a procedure. And so, he's going to drive up, I'm going to drive back. And so that's that. And then, it's just
life.
It's life. Yeah, I need to find some kind of a rhythm so I can do what I want to do because I've got a ton of bare yarn that's waiting to be dyed up.
Now, do you find you're getting caught up on YouTube again, or?
No, not really.
Okay. Not any internet things that are...
Well, that's part of the reason I'm really pulling back from that. It's just, I find that for me, it's a colossal waste of time.
Because I have found that since I started, getting back on some of the YouTube videos, I'm slowing down with my reading. So I need to, readjust a little bit because I'd rather read and... Now, to be fair, if I'm not feeling well and I've had like sensitivity, sometimes I just listen to... It's probably better for me to listen to an audiobook than to listen to the YouTube stuff. Sometimes I just don't want anything that...
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to... I think once I slow down with the gift, my husband and my blanket is no hurry. I can just do it.
It could be just a relaxed sort of person of interest project.
Yeah, and my husband doesn't like me crafting while we're watching a date night movie, so I have to sit there and not do anything except watch the movie.
Yeah,
and so that's fine. It's a date. If I were on a date, I wouldn't have it. He wouldn't ask me. Yeah. So, but it does take about 2 hours of crafting time away from me.
Right.
And then, my house. I was doing better, but I have to get back.
There's a reason that you're seeing fewer projects between, honestly, I think not feeling well has contributed to both. I've found that it's harder for me to multitask now, just because I just don't have the energy to do so. So if I'm doing something, a lot of times I'm just doing one thing, whereas I used to read and craft, or do more of the crafting and watching things. But part of it's also, when you sit in the dark, it's really hard to craft.
Yeah. And I figure that I'm
read.
I'm going to try to, if I'm listening to an audiobook or listening to some kind of YouTube, which I don't do much anymore.
Which audiobook do you listen to?
I'm not doing it right now.
Oh, okay.
I was listening to Sherlock Holmes on YouTube.
I do enjoy the Sherlock Holmes ones. There's some good, if you go to LibriVox, they have free audiobooks.
Well, I want to make sure they don't have language because
they are the ones that are the ones they have. You could search for the classics. They are the ones that are they are open to anyone, so they're free. So
yeah, but I want to make sure you don't have any language in them.
Yeah, well, you have to grab things you already know.
Well, I was surprised because I was listening to Jeremy Brett's version, and he doesn't have as much as even Poirot. Poirot just has here and there. I honestly cannot listen to something with God's name in vain. I just cannot do it.
He must not be doing the original books. He must be doing.
And it's not Jeremy Brett who says it. It's not Watson who does it either. It's usually one of the people involved.
I bet that's one of the new ones that people are creating. Because you said that you had one of Cumberbatch ones being.
Well, this is Cumberbatch. This is
my point is that it could be a non-original because the original works do not have that language. So LibriVox doesn't have these new things. It has classic books. So if you're looking for it, it'll be like the classic works of Sherlock Holmes or whatever. You
Yeah.
just have to make sure you read the description. And, some of the readers aren't as good as the ones you purchase, but you have a lot of choices a lot of times of readers, and it's free.
Yeah, and you can't really grouse too much about free. I've gotten very spoiled with Hugh Fraser, and so
His stuff will never show up on LibriVox because every single Poirot fan, I remember when there was like a comment section and someone was asking
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, about what audiobooks to listen to for Poirot. And every single person in the comments said,
Hugh Fraser.
Hugh Fraser, Hugh Fraser, Hugh Fraser, Hugh Fraser's best, Hugh Fraser's best.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, he's the one who plays Captain Hastings.
Yes.
David Suchet's not bad, and
Neither is the guy who does
neither
Jack.
the guy who does Jack.
But they're not Hastings.
They're not Hastings.
They're not, yeah.
And so he's really good.
He does a good job of letting you forget that he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he's doing female voices. And it's not like he's...
Effeminate.
No, he's not doing it in an effeminate way, but something in his inflection changes, so you know he's doing a female character, but without it being jarring.
Yeah.
He is gifted in that area.
So we will. I think, having said that, we want to remind you that the Zoom will be when?
Not this Thursday, this week. It'll be
Next
the Thursday, because if we'd done it this Thursday, that was only going to be a 2-day notice. Actually, less than that, because you wouldn't be seeing this right away. And that's just too short a notice. And this week is kind of packed, so it just made more sense that we had a free Thursday next week.
Yeah.
I mean, technically we could have done that on Friday. No, we can't. I have a confession.
You have confession. I've got things to do.
It's the first Friday. And
Yeah, I can. Somewhere along the line, I promise, I'm going to dye yarn. It just.
And you're going to mix yarn for your socks, which means that you can do the Christmas colors ahead of time.
Yeah, I might start doing.
Sorry.
I might kind of skip this season and just go straight into yarn for the fall and the winter, and start doing that with an occasional thing. That
Honestly, I feel like who cares about season? Just dye what you want to dye.
well, I don't want to put anything that's got Christmas stuff up in it.
Well, no, okay, I can see that, but
Yeah.
you could
I
possibly
can do the colors, but not.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry.
Because then if they don't purchase it and it stays up there, and it's like, well, it's Christmas stuff. It's been up forever. And it's just,
I don't think anyone notices that these are forever.
you'd be surprised.
Have you had anyone say something?
What do I say?
So, like I said,
They just won't buy it. That's all.
well, the thing is, okay, so you have people who just keep things up, like that, either because they died in order or whatever. I mean, sometimes things just take a while to sell because it just needs that perfect person to find it. And I definitely have. Well, granted, I used to do something differently. I did to order, but.
But yeah, so that's basically it. Just keep an eye on the shop if you want yarn or whatever. And I have the 4 skeins or whatever it is I have to put up for the. I have the 2 or 4 of this Circus Afro and 1 of the Magic Geo to put
Someone
up.
really liked the Circus Afro.
Yeah, somebody like that, and somebody like the Geo too.
Geo is pretty.
Yeah, I have the African Circus Afro. I have in sport weight, and I think I'm not sure if it's in sock weight
You usually do.
or worsted. I did something in
You
worsted.
usually tend to do, like, when you do one weight, you also do fingering weight because fingering weight is so popular.
Yeah, I don't know what I did with this one because I don't usually use sport weight. I did sport weight for the Afro one.
You
And-
must have just happened to have some.
Well, I have a lot of sport weight because
Yeah, it's my fault. But now that I found that one designer, and I think the one you picked up had nylon because you've dyed up sport weight for my socks.
Oh yeah, they have nylon.
So I've been using those to do that one designer who does really beautiful pattern sport weight socks. Ever since I found her, it's like I want to do all her patterns eventually.
Well, I have some sport weight. I only have 1 in the shop right now. This will be 2.
Well, what I
So
might
do
need to do is eventually, as I, as the medical bills slow down a little bit, I could pick up, a skein or 2 here and there, so that we aren't taking quite as much of a
Well,
loss.
that's not your issue. I mean, that's not your. You don't have to do that. That's
But
not your
it
obligation.
was my fault that you bought so much because I thought I was going to design in that, or I was going to do a sample, but I didn't realize I was doing a DK. So you had all this yarn you were going to sell in a kit, and it was a bunch of sport weight when it ended up that the DK wasn't even, the sport wasn't even the yarn, it was DK. So it was my mistake and my fault, therefore, that you have all this sport. So I should, every once in a while, pick up some sport to kind of offset that cost. And also, it's not like I don't have something I can do for that. I do like having, every once in a while, a heavier weight sock to work on. Just because it gives me bigger stitches to work with. And that designer's a really gifted designer.
Okay, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think we're both getting tired.
Yeah, I apologize for it not being overly animated, but...
You were animated, trust me.
Maybe. I felt like I was yawning.
Everyone yawns.
Anyway.
All it means is your brain needs oxygen.
It means I'm tired.
I think that literally is what it means, though. Like, it just means your brain needs oxygen.
Yeah. So, we want to wish you all a wonderful week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. And we hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. I can't remember what the episode this is. It's too long ago.
Actually, probably is literally too long. I shudder to think how long this episode is.
I don't know. We just went off on a tangent.
But you know what? I'm glad we podcasted today.
Yep, because you were going to do it. This is the Pen Hook and Needles podcast, episode 563, and that's a wrap.
And that's probably very loud, but...
That's why I wanted to put it up.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.